Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back on in out here to the Nodwin Clutch series. My name is Atro, and throughout the day out here, we'll be figuring on out the first two best of threes of the morning to see how this is going to go out for Group A and Group B. To be figuring things out, though, we're gonna have to go back in time a little bit. So, with that being the case, what's been happening up until now, what's going to be happening right now, we're going to get to talk about it. Down to Group B, we're taking a look on out to HYPERSPIRIT versus Bebop, one of the teams that I actually follow quite closely by out here. HYPERSPIRIT have had a couple of changes. We got to see them up against the Last Resort, and they managed to go 2-0 to take the Brit boys out. But with the win over the Last Resort, now they'll have to face off against Bebop, a team that's actually managed to best out Honved, which was a little bit of a, an upset, I'd say. But Honved coming into it are very hot and cold, so you never quite know what game you're gonna get out of them. But with that being the case, yeah, it is HYPERSPIRIT versus Bebop coming on ahead into this one, and for a lot of people, it's a HYPERSPIRIT that isn't necessarily fully Romanian. We've got QQ, we've got Scrub coming on in on the AWP. QQ as a bit of a star player, so it is going to be quite fun to see how they're going to be facing off against Bebop, a team that has been looking quite hot as of lately, especially in the past couple of months, I'd say. They managed to reach a peak of 96th on HLTV and 100 in the VRS just a couple of months ago. That was still when they were playing with Hyken and Dushka. Right now, though, we are going to be taking a look on down to them, trying to figure things out with Whiteout and, well, Fade, Red Z, Ides, Slovicus. We'll get to talk all about them. There you are. It is Red Z. It is Whiteout coming into this one. Fade, Ides, and Slovicus continue to stay as a core. And these guys, at the inception of Bebop 7 months ago, 6 months ago, right? They were certainly very, very exciting prospects coming into the scene out here. Lovicus was hitting insane shots left, right, and center. He was looking like the next guy to kind of prop himself up to tier 1.5 and get picked up by a Cyber Shock or by a Parry Vision, but it never really happened. Amiga didn't take a look on down to him either, so things just kind of fell apart, as X and Cilio did fall apart as well. And ever since then, Bebop have just kind of been going at it steadily, right? They've been trying to find themselves back up into the rankings, and honestly, they found success a couple of months ago, as I was saying, but they've been overshadowed by quite a little bit of a margin now. Nowadays, they're sitting around comfortably at 136th in the VRS, and they're still struggling to really find those last two players to stay there for a while. Now, Whiteout and Red Z have been playing with these guys for a couple of weeks, really a month, ever since these guys have gone in together. And in that month, they've lost more than they've won. They've managed to take down Misa, Black Phoenix, and Honved, but overall, they've lost against Endless Journey twice. They lost against Falcon's Force, while Chucky. So they are definitely beatable coming into this one out here. I'd say Bebop aren't necessarily going to be looking the greatest mindset right now coming away, but they did just manage to beat away Honved. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They're coming into this one as underdogs, sure, maybe, but they're still coming into this one looking to show what they can do and make it out of the group stage, out of the playing stage, right, out of the close qualifiers, to be putting it out in there into the playing decider. With that being the case, we got star player QQ, Scrub, Chocardo, and Dimaj joining up to the fray out now. And I mean, these guys, it's been very interesting to see them at play. Again, I've managed to cast them yesterday on their own channel, and out here on the Nodwin channel, we take a look on down to them once more to figure out how they're going to be playing it out. It is going to be star player and QQ to be doing most of the heavy lifting when it comes down to actual, fighting and the firepower to be brought on forth. Scrub hasn't necessarily managed to find all too much of potential up until now. In the one game I've seen, it was 2 maps, finished off pretty quickly, didn't get to get the AWP out quite a couple of times, so he needs to kind of start showing up as well. He was doing pretty well in the pistol rounds, and then overall, Chocardo and Dima, I think there are some pretty solid pieces, so we'll see how this one is going to go. But overall, voted by you guys, HYPERSPIRIT are not going to be the favorites jumping into this best of 3. It's actually going to be Bebop by a little bit of a margin, which is interesting because this matchup did happen twice beforehand. Once Bebop around about 5 months ago, or 6 months ago, sorry. Bebop did manage to beat HYPERSPIRIT in a 2-0 fashion, 13-8, 13-8 Ancient Nuke. And then HYPERSPIRIT brought it on back down to a rematch in Thunderpick. They managed to actually 3 months ago beat the side of Bebop 2-1 after they had lost on Inferno but won Mirage and Ancient. Now we go Cash, Mirage, and Inferno. Cash wasn't a thing back when Bebop actually met up with HYPERSPIRIT the last time around. So it is going to be fun to see now how they're going to try to mix and match and go to a different map out here. HYPERSPIRIT, we'll see how that one is really going to pan out. But for now, we are going to be taking a look on down to, you know, just overall trying to figure out how that Cash is going to go, how Mirage is going to get played out, because both of these teams have managed to play a fair bit amount of Mirage. Now, HYPERSPIRIT haven't necessarily been grinding all too much besides Dust 2, so the Cash pickup here is really out of the box. It's outside thinking. Now, it might work out, but Bebop did manage to beat Honved on Cash right here, so we'll see how things go. It was a 13-11 win out there for Bebop, so they seem pretty determined into what they want to play off out here onto the first map as well. That Mirage then is going to be picked away by Bebop. Makes a lot of sense. They shied away from the Dust 2, knowing that it's HYPERSPIRIT's best map. Also away from the fact that HYPERSPIRIT did get allowed to play Chicken with Dust 2, and it's very surprising that they decided to ban away Dust 2 instead of the Anubis, because the Anubis is certainly not the greatest of maps for Bebop, but you'd think they try to play for something that they're a bit more comfortable with, but instead, no, we do take ourselves on over to Inferno, which is a 4 games played on either side out here for Bebop and HYPERSPIRIT. So we shall see how things are going to go. Without further ado, though, we should be getting set up in a moment, and we'll figure out how things are going to move as we're going to be jumping into this best of 3. No information as of yet as to what's happening in the lobby, but I'm pretty sure we should be starting off in no problem at all. Should be quite soon, actually. But yeah, with that being the case, as far as predictions go, I think for me, this is certainly going to be a interesting game to watch, but one that I can't necessarily really predict. It's going to come down to the game. It's going to come down to the day out here for both of these teams. It's a morning game as well, so, you know, some slight misses, some inconsistencies here at the beginning might be seen. After all, HYPERSPIRIT just did have their roster changed around their first time that they actually managed to debut with QQ and Scrub was yesterday, so maybe there will still be a couple of teething issues. So far, so good though for HYPERSPIRIT. We got to see some really good communication coming in yesterday, and I didn't get to catch the Bebop game, but as far as I'm concerned, the fact that they already managed to win against Honved, which were kind of the favorites out of the group out here for Group B, is going to be interesting. Sure, that was a game in which Fleeve did substitute for Martinez, but Fleeve didn't play all that badly, to be honest. I mean, he was second to last coming on through Mirage and Dust 2, but he kind of helped out quite a bit on Cash. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how this one's going to play out, how they're going to be able to work it out. But overall, this is going to be Bebop trying to, you know, keep their advantages, keep their cool. So we'll see how things move on over to the game, to the server in a moment. But until then, we're going to be jumping into a quick break, and then we'll be right back to figure out how this best of 3 is going to start.